You're listening to My Grito Podcast Network, celebrating the culture of Chicanos and Latinos one story and voice at a time. Listen to more My Grito Podcast Network shows over at mygrito.net. Connect on social, on Instagram and Facebook at My Grito, the My Grito Podcast Network.
The Mind Buzz, now partnered with My Grito Industries.
The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media. Mind Buzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? Mind Buzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more.
The Mind Buzz.
We are back. Boom. What is up, Mind Buzz universe? Welcome back to another podcast episode of the Mind Buzz in partnership with My Grito Industries and on the My Grito Podcast Network. What is up? My name is GILL and working the board. And sometimes the 69s is Amber. What's up? What's going on? How are you? Stop. I just want to hear you say stop.
I didn't say stop. I said stop it.
How are you?
I'm practicing my English.
Your English?
I don't know. I was going to say something racist. But never mind. I'm practicing my English.
All right.
I'm good.
2 minutes.
Good.
2 minutes in, and nothing racist for me.
I know.
So
I'm sorry.
I'm glad.
I'm sorry. I'm doing really good, actually.
You're doing good.
I've had a pretty productive day.
You've had a really productive day. I have had a. You've been productive for both of us. So
yeah,
I think that.
Usually it's the other way
good.
around. So
No,
it works. Yes.
we're a team. This is what we do. This is
know.
what teams do.
But some days you carry me more. And that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Carry you through the mud.
Yeah. But I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm still trying to get over this this weird nose like thing. What is it? Like the
sinus?
Sinus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, it's cool. A lot of mucus, but I won't get into that. But what we can be talking about is
what you can get into?
Yeah, what I can get into.
Actually, you can't.
I can't. I'm not allowed. Are we doing like background checks on these people in case like if they're okay? Never mind. We won't go there. Amber's been working on some pretty cool stuff, and I'm calling. We should have queued the music for this, but all the single men, all the single men, all the single males, all the single males. She's working on Corazon speed dating. Is what she's working on. Tell us what you have going for this thing.
I wish I would have wrote something that could sound like The Price is Right or something. But on what are we in June?
Yeah,
June 22nd at Horchateria Rio Luna, where I am hosting our very first speed dating event.
All right.
Woo. So it'll be 12 men and 12 women in one room. They have 5 minutes per date, and they get to date all 12 people.
Whoa.
Yeah, in a span of 2 hours. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We still have a couple of tickets left. Men.
Yeah, men.
We have men tickets.
Men tickets.
Come out.
Available now.
Don't be scared. Don't be a weenie. This is not us marrying you off. It's just having a good time.
Come out, meet 12 potential life partners.
Or,
Or just hang out.
I was going to they don't have to be life partners. They could be, I don't know.
Friends. Come out and date.
What's the other thing that's called?
How many dates have you been on and you're still friends with that person?
I don't know.
Plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. I don't want to answer that.
I don't want to hear it either.
But come on out. We'll have a bar. We'll be serving beer and wine. We'll have some music playing, and it's gonna be an overall good time. So, men, I'm talking to you.
It's gonna be a great time.
Or you know what? DM us,
okay.
and we have a promo code for you men.
All right, we got a promo code.
So
that's it.
Do it.
It's official.
All right.
But this is the project that you're working on. Do you have any? Since it's June, we have some other events in the same realm of this, right?
It's not in June.
It's not in June?
No.
Okay, never mind. Sorry. Jumped the gun on that one.
You jumped it. It's okay.
All right. Well, that's it. So, anything else, Amber?
No, that's all I got.
You are awesome. And then also, every week on Wednesdays, we have the Puro Laughs open mic, comedy open mic in Paramount or Chateria. Get there early because it's signups are filling up quick. So come check that out. My friend James Jablonski is going to be guest hosting that night. So if you missed him a few weeks ago, here's your chance to come see this guy host. He is a beast. Anything else?
No.
Cool. Let's get into today's guest. I'm very excited to talk to this young man. He is doing a lot of cool things in the Inland Empire for himself, and then also just for the comedy scene at the Inland Empire. Have you seen him at the Laugh Factory, Ontario Improv? He is. We'll talk a little bit more about the buddy system, but George Ferido, welcome to the Mind Buzz, dude. Appreciate it.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me, yo.
Thanks, man.
I like the intro. That's how I intro people that I don't know their credits. And they're like, this guy's been doing it all over.
Yeah.
All the clubs and colleges all over, just doing cool stuff.
Well, dude, you heard the Eric Escobar one. I just said this guy's a busy guy. Like I said it like 5 times. I was like, he's a busy guy. I don't know exactly. What
he is. I think it was. Eric and I have been trying to connect and get him on one of our shows, and it took. I mean, we just had him on last month, I think.
Yeah.
And it took that might have been like 2 years of like, hey, how about this?
No
I'm busy.
way,
how about
really?
This? I'm busy. Yeah.
2
or
years?
like, how about this? I'm down. And then I had to be like, oh, they canceled it. Like, so it took a while. I was glad to finally get him up. But yeah, he's very hard to get a hold of. I was like, dude, I got to book you like a year in advance, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah, he had a lot of stuff, dude. Did you see his tattoo, man? That was crazy. The Shawn Michaels.
On his belly? Or yeah.
He has like a Shawn Michaels tattoo where like it comes out to where his foot is like Shawn Michaels giving the. Are you a WWE?
Yeah. No, I was watching it when it was WCW, WWF. I was trying to get like ECW on the local cable scrambler.
Oh, okay.
It was I was in it until it was cool, and then everybody started watching. I was like, all right, never mind. Never mind. Now there's like, and it got a lot to follow up with too. You had to like watch fucking SmackDown, and then you had to watch Wednesday Night Nitro, and it was too much to keep up with.
Yeah, well, Nitro was WCW, and SmackDown was WWF. Yeah. I started watching when SmackDown started going on air, like in the 1999, I think, something like that.
1999?
Yeah.
The 1900s?
The Rock
Wait,
era.
hold on. What year are we in? We're in 2023 or 2024?
This is Jumanji. What year is it?
He just came out of the game. That's why. 2024.
Yeah.
Oh,
Time
dude.
flies.
Last night for hours, I was thinking we're in 2023, and I didn't want to look at my phone because I was scared to know that it was 2024. I can't believe that, because it's like quarter of a century, dude. Next year, 2025 is quarter of a century. Yeah. I never even thought of that. This is wild.
Where did you think you were going to be like 5 years ago, though?
I don't know.
Really? You didn't know?
No.
I mean, how long have you been doing comedy now?
Not that long.
So, did you see comedy like 5 years ago? Was that in your dashboard?
Maybe in movies, yeah. In movies, but stand up, not really. I I think it was Melissa Neem.
Melissa Nemi?
Nemi? Yeah.
Medium podcast. Shout out Melissa.
Yeah, I watched the one where you were on there, and I connected right away because I feel like the way that you kind of fell in love with comedy was through like actors and comedy movies and Comedy Central, not really stand up.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
I was saying that I was always looking for someone. I would scroll through the television, or I would look on the TV guide. Kids don't even know what the TV guide is anymore. I'd watch the TV guide, wait for it to scroll past Comedy Central, and hopefully I saw like Premium Blend or Comedy Central Presents, because I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew I wanted to watch someone on stage with a microphone make me laugh.
Yeah.
And so by accident almost. But I never saw myself doing it. That was a very late in life.
Like how many years after?
Oh, I mean, I probably didn't even start entertaining the idea until my senior year in high school.
Oh, okay. So you started pretty early then, dude.
No. I spent a lot of time dicking around after I graduated. Really? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, after graduating college or graduating high school?
When I graduated high school. Yeah, I had to find myself. And even then, I feel like I didn't really find myself till I was like 25.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I'd already started doing comedy by that point.
This isn't the Mexican Kill Tony. What are you talking about?
It is the Mexican Kill Tony.
Shut up, Red Band. I mean, Jay.
This is 100% Kill Gill.
Hey, fool, I didn't know you brought your fucking Chicano studies teacher today, dog.
You did. And hopefully you learned something.
Probably not with the I don't know.
I haven't walked through curtains like that since I was born. They were my mom. That was
Trời ơi bạn đi một tuần tóc lắm gặp mày mà bung mày dân tù lù. Please feel free to sing along if you know the words.
You guys want to see Darby Cash next month again? Yeah? Yes or no?
I'll be honest, I would kiss you just for the bit.
Dude, you're not down.
You're not down. You're not down.
Oh my God! Oh, we got Dylan fucking comedy open mic, damn it! Oh my. Welcome to my kingdom where I'll take you there.
Yeah, you gotta have fun after high school, I think. I don't know.
I think I was just working. I wanted to make some money. I wanted to do things. But when I graduated high school, I knew that I wanted to leave home. I was like, I've been here. I have to go somewhere else so I can really discover myself.
Yeah. Did you go to college?
I did. I went to college for a year. I do still go back to class once in a while. Like I just take classes at like the local community college. I like learning. I think it's interesting. And like I'm maybe 6 credits from like an associate's in business, but just by accident. I'm not really like pursuing it. I'm just like, I want to learn more things. Cause like I started going back when I started doing the buddy system and taking it more seriously. And I was like, I think I should understand business structure and what's going on. A lot of what I learned was like retail business and business to business things. I didn't really understand like I didn't understand entertainment, I guess I should say. It was a different thing, but I did pick up a little things here and there, and there's a lot that I kind of just learned on the fly. So I like learning. I enjoy consuming information.
Do you think that you can consume too much?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. I think that's the problem with the internet. I think it
yes.
is just a fire hose of whatever you want,
It's
and
too
it could be
much.
wrong. You could be going down a wrong rabbit hole for years. I was on this forum called abovetopsecret.com, and it was a conspiracy theory forum that they were talking about like hollow earth theory and how 9/11 was an inside.
Yes.
I was in it. I was like, this is, and then I discovered the flat earth board, and I was like, oh, these guys are crazy. They're not, never mind. They don't know what's going on.
Dude, everybody believes conspiracies until you reach a flat earther. Until you meet a flat earther, you don't know what a conspiracy really is.
Yeah. Because for me, it was an exercise in thought of what if, and that was
like
the enjoyable part.
Like an alternative history kind of lesson.
Right.
Did you see that, speaking of conspiracies, I heard this the other day, that CERN's logo, you know what CERN is?
Yeah. The Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah. Their logo, it has like 3 6s on it.
Nice.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Amber, can you pull it up?
Amber, can we pull it up?
I want to show you this. This thing was wild. CERN.
The CERN
Dude,
logo.
CERN logo.
CERN.
CERN. Yes.
It's never the way.
Never the way you think it is.
Never.
No. But yeah, I've been on this weird, like a time travel thing right now.
What's CERN?
Look at that. Pull it up on the screen.
Oh, I
too.
see it.
Oh,
Okay.
You see it?
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Right there.
You could see it better, like here in the black.
I mean, once you understand like numerology and stuff, the idea of having 6 6s or 3 6s or whatever you want doesn't really hold any water.
I mean, come
No,
on.
it doesn't. 666 in like numerology, like you're saying, it's not even like anything bad. It means something else, like abundance or something.
Oh, it
like
does?
that.
Yeah, it can. And if you put like a biblical context to it, like the number 6 is just one number short of 7. 7 is God's number. 6 is man's number, and the number for the Holy Trinity is 3. So if you have 3 6s, all you have is God, man trying to be God, not necessarily the beast. It is just man trying to complete the Holy Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So it's like it's not as innocuous as you would think, but I mean, the monster logo is 3 Arabic 6s as well.
Yeah, I seen that one.
All kinds of craziness.
Yeah.
But for the way I see it, was like if you can get 6s and goats in there and a pentagram, good for you. Like
Yeah, you're a good artist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you could fit anything in anywhere on a product and sell millions
and
of
they don't
it,
even notice.
they don't care.
Yeah.
No, you should. No one cares. But yeah, I seen this and I thought it was wild, dude. Yeah, and it's also how you look at it, like through what lens,
Right?
Because I was looking at it through a biblical sense, and my family history is Christianity. Okay. So of
all
course,
Satanists.
yeah. So of course, I'm gonna look at that and say, just because of the conditioning that I was in, I was like, oh, it's a number of the beast, right?
Yeah.
And my family were, I don't think they're as bad anymore, but
There's nothing wrong with that. Like I was, I'm from, I shouldn't say religious background, but in my high school, I spent a lot of time in our youth Christian program. We called it Victory Club, and then by senior year, I was kind of the leader of the Victory Club.
Oh, really?
We went to like Friday church and stuff. Yeah, I was there. I was in it. I was kind of a faker, if I'm being honest. I was still me, but I think I needed something to do. Idle hands are the devil's plaything. So I kept myself busy in that way, and I also understood like this is a good group of people to kind of surround myself with. Yeah,
it was cool. When I went to church, I met my best friend. Like we've known each other for over 20 years, dude. We met him through I met him through the church, so that was cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I had one friend. So that was cool.
With me, I was always kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I always had questions about like, what about aliens and what about all these other things? But I was still like, let me just follow something that seems to make sense. So I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out for the most of it, and then by the end, I would say college, my first semester of college, I went from high school Victory Club to men's youth group, and they called it cell groups. And so I joined this cell group, and I was the new guy, and we were kind of talking about our futures and stuff because I was the youngest one, and I had just graduated. So they were asking like, what do you want to do? And it was actually because of stand-up that I kind of stopped going. They were like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I'm not sure, but I really want to try this thing. I want to try to tell jokes on stage. And I remember that cell group leader immediately was like, how are you going to glorify God with that? And I was like, ew. I think God wants me to make people laugh if that's the case. Like, if this is the skill that I am given, I think he wants me to use it.
Right.
And I think that's what the Bible taught me. So I was like, maybe I'm just going to stop coming because you guys they weren't really supportive for that idea. They were like, well, you should figure something out. And it makes sense, but I would never like tell someone no, don't, why?
Yeah, that's interesting because they could have done the opposite thing and supported you through that and create a Christian comedian.
Yeah, which
I mean that there's a business for it, there's a market for it, and if you're a clean comic, you get. I've heard, I don't know the dollar amount, but I mean, it's there's a market for it, right?
If you can do good, clean comedy, there's no barrier of entry for
you could.
You can do cruise ships.
Anywhere.
Anywhere, literally anywhere.
Yeah. But
I'm not that. So,
but fuck that.
Yeah, I'm the devil, as Bobby Boucher's mom would say. I am the devil.
Oh my god, dude. Yes. Why do you think that you're the devil? Well, do you still what's your
I would say I'm pretty agnostic at this point. It's hard for me to really think that after we die it's exactly what we think is going to be. If that makes sense. Like I don't necessarily think that, Christianity or Catholicism is wrong, but I think the man's interpretation of whatever that is definitely wrong. I think there may be something higher, but I think when we start to write it down and try to control it and put it onto other people, it becomes a problem. And so I think the execution of religion is the problem. Man's involvement in religion is the problem.
Man's involvement. That makes sense, dude.
Because we're talking about CERN here. We're talking, you get down to a certain point where you do reach this God particle, this unknowing, this weird, like, I have no idea. When they say like 90 or 70% of the universe is dark matter. Dark matter is code for we have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know what it is.
We're just, we put something there and it'll fit. But
we labeled it and we're calling it something, but we don't exactly know what it is.
So I have no problem thinking there is some kind of afterlife or whatever this is. I have no problem thinking that when I die, somebody just gets to unplug and be like, oh, that was a fun simulation. I have no problem with that, but I'm barely struggling in right now as it is, so I have other issues to deal with. I'm barely pulling it through.
But do you think that, like, religion is that, what do they call it? Like the invisible, I think it's called like invisible string or something. Have you guys heard of that?
Like in string theory, the vibrating particles and stuff?
No, it's supposed to be like, okay, so there's something, right? So within like religion, what they kind of say with the string theory or something. I could be saying it wrong. But
sounds right.
It's pretty much like saying like it stops people from, doing heinous crimes, which it really doesn't stop it, but all the population. So there's something there that's making us like, maybe I shouldn't, commit adultery. Maybe
morality?
I shouldn't. Morality, but there's some people that can't have that on their own. Like for myself, like I'm agnostic like you, and I know the difference between hurting a human and I'm not gonna do it. And there's some people that need that extra, and that's where religion plays a part, because they need that extra structure and they need to be scared of something. They need to be like put in line type of thing.
Yeah, we call those dummies. But no, I'm fine with that. Like if that's the thing that I've never had a problem with like the religion, but if that's the thing you need and that helps you get through your day, I'm totally for it. I'm in support of that, but don't push it on other people who don't want that. Because like growing up where I grew up, like I'm Hawaiian, I know I look Hispanic, but I'm Hawaiian. Growing up in Hawaii, I was very aware of colonialism. It was such a recent like conquering of the British colonialism that it was easily taught to us as kids. If I felt so connected to it, and I kind of attached the idea of religion to borderline being white privilege, because you would not, especially back home in Hawaii, in ancient Hawaii, you could not interact, you could not go to school unless you learned English and could read the Bible. Like you had to be religious in order to participate in the white man's activities of having a better life, or what they would call a better life. And so it was just forced onto them. And I've never liked that. Like, do what you need to do, outreach, whatever you need to outreach. But the moment someone's like, I disagree, like, end it there then. Let's still connect as people, but you don't have to continue to push. But that was part of like the cell group and the Victory Club that I pushed back constantly. They're like, you need to outreach. It's like, I will, but if they say they're not interested, I'm not going to continue doing it. That feels like violence.
Yeah.
Forcing my idea on them and harassing them almost when they're like, we said no, dude. It's like, no consent there. Stop it.
The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media.
MindBuzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? MindBuzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more.
Were you going like door to door? What type of thing was this?
Well, in Victory Club, it was more about like outreaching in class with my other
in
students.
class.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
whoa, that's
but just
different.
kind of bringing it up in conversation and trying to bring people there.
And this was this a Christianity school, or it was just a public high school?
No, I went to a public high school.
They had this in a public high school.
Yeah, we had Victory Club. It was voluntary. We had the only stipulation to having Victory Club on campus was we had to have meetings after school, and you had to have a teacher kind of sign off on it.
And this was in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. The city that I grew up in, the high school that I went to for maybe 8 years or something, there was a point where it was in the Guinness Book of Records for the most churches on a single street.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
But all of them too. So that's why I'm so like, bring your religion. There were Buddhist temples, there were Mormon churches, there were Catholic temples, there were Christian churches. I went to a Lutheran middle school. Like there was all kinds of things. So it was kind of like Hawaii. It was a melting pot, and everybody got along great.
Yeah.
So the moment it became like forceful, I was like, this is gross. I'm not going to do this.
Do you think that because I know Hawaii, like right in the recent years, like a lot of natives are telling tourists like, don't come to Hawaii, stay over there. Do you think people are kind of like pushing back now on just kind of like gentrification and things like that?
Definitely.
Yeah, is that what's happening?
Yeah, because they're having a very real and visceral reaction to being priced out of their home. You know, it's the same thing that like Native Americans went through, just more recent and right now. Like these people have no other place to go. Their families got on the boats from ancient Polynesia, crossed the Pacific, and landed there. They don't go anywhere else. But now it's getting to the point where they can't afford to stay in their home. They can't. A gallon of milk is anywhere from $9 to $15. Yeah. Same with eggs and everything. Like everything has to get imported. So everything is expensive. Thankfully, though, you can gas prices will stay steady for a month at a time. So if it's like $5 or $4 something, it'll stay at that because they have to bring the gas in.
Yeah.
So,
wow,
it is being priced out of your home, and I get it. I get the why they're upset. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
To be pushed out that way, but it is crazier to have it done in front of everyone's face and everyone kind of still being okay with it.
I think it's just one of those things where it's like how do we control it? Because we talked about this on the podcast a few weeks ago, where it's happening like in Mexico as well. With when 2020 hit, a lot of Americans moved to Mexico and were working remotely. So now they're working with American wages and living in Mexico. So now everything is like they can afford luxury. They can afford whatever house and everything. So it's like hiking up prices. And it's even going as far as changing recipes for like salsa. They're making salsas in taco spots less spicy because the Americans can't take it. Or music is getting phased out because they're upset by it. And it's like one of those things like everybody sees it, and even the people there, and it's like what do you do? Like how do we combat that? It's just it's hard and it's sad.
Yeah, I think it's a philosophy question at that point. It's what you were saying earlier, like do some people just need religion to draw the lines? And that's the case, but there's also the idea of integrity and how do we treat other people. But I think the problem we're looking at with gentrification, I think specifically is different but the same of the problem that we're looking at in Africa, where the commodities in Africa are just minerals and metals and consumables. Like, you know, that's what the commodity out of there. The commodity in Hawaii is paradise and views and you know, the location. So it is land, but it is still the idea of rich people coming in because that's what they want, and they should be allowed to buy what they want. But where does the line get drawn where that's too much? You know, and I think it does come down to the local population to kind of unite and make us think about it. Because I mean, it might not help, but at the same time, we are talking about a very Hawaiian issue on a podcast in the middle of California, you know? So maybe it is doing something. Maybe we are entering the zeitgeist in some weird way to do something. I don't know. I'm not helping. I barely pay my bills. So I cannot help them, but I support them. I can't do anything.
When's the last time you went out there?
Back home, it's been a few years. When I first moved out here, I want to say in 2015. I don't know how long. I've been
recently,
here.
Dude. Okay.
No, I moved down to Southern California in 2000. Oh yeah, we're in 24, huh? Damn.
Yeah, dude.
That fixes my time.
Told you, man.
So I moved down to Southern California in 2012. And so that means I probably got to California around 2009.
Oh, okay. So you've been.
So I've been here for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah. But I spent a lot of time dicking around, like I was saying earlier. Like,
dude,
I've worked in warehouses, and
that's what Southern California is for, dude. To dick around.
My God.
Well, I lived in Northern California for a little while first. I lived in the Bay Area, the East Bay, and there I was working in warehouses and fixing airsoft guns and
like Oakland,
Fremont, Union City, like that whole East Bay. Chunk, yeah,
that's cool.
It was cool, but it was interesting. It was a culture shock for me, though, for sure. But it was fun. I had a good time.
Like culture shock by what do you?
I've never really experienced. This sounds so pretentious. I've never really experienced like segregation at that level, where like, oh no, this is a Chinese town. This is an Indian town. This is a Hispanic town.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, I've never really experienced that, and going into like any sort of. It could just even be a Ralph's in a different city, and you're like, oh, everybody here looks the same. You know, and it was very weird because growing up where I grew up, everybody is everything. Like, I know it's weird to say, and it's borderline, it's a microaggression, but I didn't see color. I could not, because I was just like, everybody's everybody.
Right.
There's no point of, is this guy Chinese, Japanese? I don't know. Probably all of them. Let's be honest. And I was usually right. So coming out here and being able to be like, oh no, that's a Mexican. That's a Salvadoran. Like, to be able to point them out just because of the city that I'm in was very odd.
Yeah, but I mean, I still can't tell the difference between a Mexican and.
Well, call them a Mexican first, and
I
then
can't.
see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I can. I just don't. I mean, because I don't. I just don't know the difference. I really don't.
I think because
besides the geographical location of where they came from, the food is different, sure. But as far as telling them apart,
right? Don't they all just come to the same hole in the fence? Don't they just? It's all the same.
I don't know.
I think it's because you don't speak Spanish, and that's the way that you can differentiate when someone speaks Spanish.
I'm starting to learn.
It's different accents.
Now I understand that, because I'm just like, I don't. What is he? He has a twang in his Spanish. You know,
I only speak kitchen Spanish. I only know how to like ask for more potatoes and more cheese. Know when they're calling me pretty or when they're mad. So.
Do you ever want to like go back to Hawaii, or you like it here?
I enjoy it here. For a long time, I said I would love to go back and raise a family there, because it is a different environment, like I said. But now, just the way it's changing, I go back pretty regularly. I haven't been back for maybe 2 years or so, but I go back a little while, and it does seem different. It does feel different. The vibe is a lot different. So I think I would want to go back, but I would be going back for an idea of what home used to be and not what it is anymore.
Yeah, you'll be chasing that forever, dude, until you get it, which won't probably happen.
Is there a comedy scene out in Hawaii?
There is now. That's actually why I left, because there was nowhere to do comedy. Like it's a cool story for me, and I'll share it. I don't know if I've ever shared it, but so Paulo Gata. I don't know if you know who Paulo Gata is. He's pretty local. He does a lot of cruises. He's headlined. He's been doing comedy for almost 30 years. He was a radio DJ back home in Hawaii when I was growing up, and I remembered him leaving the morning radio station, because I would always listen to the morning radio, and he was always hilarious. And he was leaving, and I remember offhandedly they were like, he's leaving so he can go do comedy, and I was like, that's so crazy that you would leave a job like that, like a cool. Well, I thought he was famous at that point. You know, you're on the radio every morning, and they're like, he's leaving to do comedy, and I was like, I didn't know.
Like leaving.
Yeah,
the
he's
radio
leaving the
station.
radio station. He's leaving Hawaii to go home, to go to California to do comedy.
Wow.
So that was the first time I was like, that's crazy. Like, I didn't know that was a thing you could do.
Yeah.
So it kind of incepted that idea. And then when I finally graduated high school, I remember I went to his website because I didn't know who else was doing comedy. There was local comedians. There's like 2 or 3, but it's a very niche thing that they were doing. So I was like, I don't want to do what they're doing. I want to do what this guy's doing. So I went to Paulo Gatta's website. I got his email. I emailed him. I was like, yo, how the heck do you do this out here? Like, there's no comedy club. There's no open mic scenes. What do I do? And I was just shooting in the dark. I was like, I'll figure it out. He gets back to me like 2 days later. He sent me a whole email. He was like, go here, here, and here. There's no scene, but, ask if you can hang flyers, hang around, help them out, let them know that you're interested so that maybe they put you up here and there. But overall, he was like, it's difficult to do it out there. That's the reason I left. And so I saved that email, and I was like, that's cool. This famous dude fucking emailed me back. I saved the email, and then at that point, I realized that I had to leave. And I had to go to California to do it because there was no scene. So to answer your question, there is now. It's a pretty new scene. I would say it's less than 5 years in terms of this scene in Hawaii. And I go back pretty regularly. I think there's a couple of other comics that I usually see from out here, like John and Olivia. Like, they're on the same shows that I go out for now. But to bring this whole long ass story full circle, maybe our third outing at the Ontario, third or fourth at the Ontario Improv. It was like a total last minute show. They're like, hey, somebody dropped out. Can you fill this in? I was like, I'll do it. We'll fill it up. So we booked it, and we was like, we just need a headliner. And so I hit up Paul, and Paul was like, yeah, I'm down. I'll do it. So he came out. He did it for super cheap, and then he was like, hey, do you know so and so? And I was like, yeah, that's my auntie. And he was like, oh yeah, I know her too. I was like, that's so crazy. It was a fun time. But there is a scene now. They're fun. I go back there to do shows regularly. So if you guys ever go back, let me know. I got hookups out there.
That is awesome, dude. Have you, besides Hawaii, have you performed anywhere else? Like any other states?
I drove with a bunch of comics to Denver to kind of hit some shows and mics. Drove. Dude,
how was the drive?
Beautiful but long.
Yeah,
I think we did drive for 22 hours.
Whoa.
Straight. We all
is it 20 hours? Really?
Yeah, for sure. Sure. You're driving across a time zone.
That's true. Yeah.
But I think everybody should do at least part of that drive. The end part, you're driving through the Rockies. You're driving through different things. Yeah. But it's to go from Southern California through Vegas, through Utah, through Arizona, and then getting to Colorado, you drive through so many different temperate zones. You drive through, desert. You drive through Vegas. You drive through like the Grand Canyon kind of area, and then you get into the Rockies, and it's beautiful. I really enjoyed it, but being cramped in a car was crazy. It's also in Denver where I bombed pretty hard. At that point, the hardest in my career.
Really?
Yeah. This place called the Lion's Lair for good reason. That place it sucked. I'm always going to blame the drive because we got there, we checked into our hotels, we unpacked, we maybe napped for an hour, and then we went to go do some mics. And Lion's Lair was the first spot we hit, and I just didn't. Sometimes you just don't have the juice. You're like, I put everything I did, and that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt at Lions Lair. I was like, oh, shit, dude, this sucked.
Do you guys drive, like, the whole, like, straight through? Did you stop anywhere? Like
no, we stopped on the way back.
Oh.
Because we drove, we left late to try to get there for the nighttime
okay,
scene.
Cool.
So we drove pretty straight, but on the way back, we made some stops.
So you hit the Lion spot, and then what other?
We hit Lion's Lair. We hit
Lion's Lair,
Mutiny Cafe. We hit some other like diner spot. I think we did 2 a night for 4 days.
Dang, dude.
So it was cool. It was
That's
fun.
a good night.
Yeah, it was a really good time. I had a great time, and I was like newly single. I was like feeling myself. I was like, oh, it's a new me. Yeah. And I was in a new state and bombing my dick off hard. But it was part of that like self discovery. I was like, this is fun. Smoking weed in Colorado was cool. It's hot. It does hit you harder. You're like,
really?
The air is thinner up here, isn't it?
It's the air. It's not the elevation.
It's just everything. It's harder to get oxygen. It's easier to get marijuana. So It was fun. It was a really good time, though. That's always my recommendation to like new comics because I've been doing this for too long, and everyone's like, "What should I do?" I'm like, "Well, leave. Maybe not forever. I think there should always be a space where you can exercise your funny muscle, someplace local, something that doesn't cost you a lot of money to go to, but you do have to kind of go out of your own scene, out of your own state, just so that that when you're making a Ralph's reference, like someone in Arizona doesn't know what you're talking about.
Right.
It's those little things that you don't realize you're doing location-based comedy until you leave and you try the joke and it falls flat. That's part of the reason I fell so hard at Lions Lair. I was like, oh, I got to adjust everything. I'll be back, y'all. This is a mess.
Have you thought about heading to Texas or Austin?
I know this is blasphemous, but I am thoroughly uninterested.
Really?
Like, I don't think it has anything to offer me that I can't get out here.
I think it was Art Marquez was telling me. You know Art?
I only talk to comics.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to him, and he was telling me that you went out there for a couple of days, and it was just wild. He hung out on 6th Street, but what he told me was interesting because he was like, "Yeah, there's all these mics, but the wait you're still waiting. Mm-hmm. Like there's mics, but you're still fucking waiting." Yeah. So
I think I don't know. I can't. I understand the draw. Like it was the same draw that brought everybody to LA.
Right.
I get I get what it offers to comedy in general, but I'm Eric Escobar. I'm busy. Like I don't have that much time to do it. So what little time I do have, I mean, you kind of see on my Instagram stuff. Like I was talking to Melissa Nami about this because I got on her about her Instagram feed being boring. And I was like, no one knows what you're doing. You should post more. And then she eventually did. But then she got at me. I was like, you should, no one knows what you're doing. Look at your feed. It's all flyers. I was like, yeah, but that is literally all I'm doing. Like, I'm busy. Mondays, open mic night somewhere. Tuesdays, there's the riff show. Wednesdays is usually some kind of recording day for one of the podcasts. Yeah. Thursdays is another mic. Friday, Saturdays, I'm doing shows. Sunday, maybe I have it off. Monday, rinse and repeat. I'm busy. So I don't have time to go for just mics.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think if you're new, right, and you don't have nothing to do, if your
if you're new, that's important.
If your Instagram's not popping, you know what I'm saying?
My Instagram is not popping, but I think there's different things that we need at different points in our career. And when I went to Denver, that's certainly what I needed. I was maybe 4 or 5 years in. I kind of just felt like I was discovering my voice, and I needed to go out and kind of shake my shit through the strainer and be like, a lot of this stuff doesn't work. I don't really benefit from that anymore because I do try to write more generally now, and I do benefit more from just working out. So why buy a ticket, get an Airbnb, stay at somebody's
do
house
all that crazy stuff
for mics,
for an open mic.
Yeah.
But you've done it already, so
sort of. I've learned how to work out. I think I learned how to work out jokes, and I know my thoughts and my style. So I don't necessarily need. I think it'd be a good time, but if I'm going out there, I know somebody and they can get me on a show at the very least. But I'm not going to go out there for mics at this point.
Yeah,
I barely even leave my city for mics. It's fun though. It is my favorite thing to do. Yeah, I know people don't think so, but I love going to other cities where they don't know me and just smashing. It's great.
So I do the open mic in Paramount for the longest time. People think that I live in Paramount because most of the most of the shows we do a lot of events out there, and people think I live out there. I don't know. They think Chino is just so freaking far from everything. It's really not.
It's not.
It's like 30 minutes, dude. Come on, 30. You can.
Chino's a good spot.
Drive.
Chino's a good spot. Riverside's not bad.
It's not bad at all. No.
What's good, and I don't think people realize it because not a lot of them are from out here. But like when you're an IE comic, when this is kind of the area you hustle from, if you live like in Chino or something, to go out to a mic or a show in LA at the time when the show starts, no traffic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Everyone's going the other way.
Yeah.
And you're just like, that sucks, dude. But it's great. So it is kind of a good jumping point to do comedy or anything from. It's cheaper to live.
Yeah. So Monday yesterday, I drove out to downtown LA and it was smooth sailing.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't bad at all.
Just do drugs and drive. That's my favorite thing.
Do drugs, drive, and coffee.
Yeah, drug, drive, and coffee. Yeah, for sure. And maybe like a gummy candy. I like to snack. I'm very
Really?
I do. I have a sweet tooth. I love it. Like some peach rings,
like
or something.
candy,
whatever. Honestly, like a candy, a soda, maybe some chips. I don't like chips because
I
my
like
fingers get dirty.
the little thing filling that you get when you drink
that fizzy.
Oh yeah, dude, I love
burns.
it, dude.
I can't do it.
I love it. I love it. Burn me to hell because that thing is so good.
I had a Coca-Cola in Seattle, and to this day I call it the crispiest soda I've ever drank. It gave me that burn down my throat that made my dick wet. Like it was like ooh, that's nice.
You know what gives me that is the Mexican one, the Mexican agua, the mineral water. That's
the one that comes out with like
2 liter,
the little squirt top thing. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's a 2 liter
it's called-
mineral water.
It's called
What is it called?
Mineragua.
Mineragua.
It has comes like in a plastic 2 liter and has like a little blue cap. Yeah, that one has a little bit more.
I must have
carbonation.
got a fresh one out of the factory because that thing was potent.
Yeah, when I like bartended at Mexican parties, they bring stuff like that. They're like, "This is what we're gonna make our ranch waters with." I'm like, "Cool, perfect. Y'all about to get trashed. Let's do it."
Yeah, we do mineral water and then like an alcohol in there.
Tequila, tahini on the rim.
Yeah,
it's good.
Those are good. Or you could just put like some CBD drops in the thing. That's good too.
Yeah, I'm for that. Yeah, absolutely.
I put some in your thing.
Cool.
Too.
Perfect. I've been in a lot of pain. I'm getting old. Things are starting to hurt.
You're not getting old, George.
Just for no reason.
You're not getting old, George.
I am. I'm aging, but I certainly am getting old.
Are you in the 90s?
I was born in 89.
89.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah,
you're old.
You are old as fuck.
You're
old. I just look young. I don't know.
The 80s?
I don't know.
Dude, really? Yeah, you look pretty good for your age, dude.
I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. After 30, I've stopped counting.
No. But isn't it crazy? Because I'm 33. So I'm 90.
Okay.
And then Gil's 91. So
Okay.
he's 30. How old are you? 32?
32, I think.
And I feel like we just had this whole conversation last night where I was in tears and I was like, oh, my body. It's just a crazy thing to see. After 30, it just you just start breaking down and it's nuts just to see your body get there. Any little thing, I tie my shoe and I can pull my back and I'm like, what the fuck?
For sure.
The other day I was on the toilet sitting down and I got up and I pulled my back and I was like, what the hell? No, but I was in pain all day and I was like, what the heck is wrong with me? But I agree with you.
Yeah. It's me, for me, because I was fat growing up and I lost a lot of weight after graduating, and then once I moved out here I started doing jiu-jitsu and I started rock climbing, and then later on I started running more, and so it's less about the breakdown, it's more about the rebound. The rebound, it takes me a lot longer to recover from things. I can have maybe a seltzer or two. I can have a Truly, just the regular little cans. And if I have two, I'm probably going to wake up the next morning with a headache. It's probably going to ruin the rest of my day.
Just got to practice more, dude. I think that's it.
I practice pretty regularly.
Yeah.
I drink, not a lot, but I drink. It's a one item minimum. I'm not trying to just get a soda. Yeah. Let's be honest. I'm not crazy.
I'm having some, not difficulty with that, but it's just, I'm on this 30-day no alcohol, and it's I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of rough, but I think I'm getting used to it by what's the third week already?
Yeah, you're about 2 weeks in.
Oh, nice. All right.
About 2 weeks in, dude.
Yeah, you're past the hump.
That's why I got a Monster at Strum the other night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the only thing about that is because I told you I like the pss thing. With drinks. I don't know what to call it.
What sucks though is I do so much work in breweries, but I don't really like beer.
No?
I don't really drink beer.
Really?
No. And I also don't like to drink when I work. So if I'm hosting or producing or something,
Well,
it's
that's
I'd
good.
rather not. Yeah, it's
a good
better
thing.
for me.
Yeah.
Saves me money, but it's also just I don't know. I don't want even for a second the owner of a venue that I'm doing a show in to think that I might get trashed and ruin their night. I don't even want that to be a thought.
Yeah.
It's I can wait till after, and I usually do, but I'm just better sober, like I said earlier. It's I'm just better.
Yeah.
I can be me. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
It's easier, too.
the best. Like, I mean, I'm biased because I stopped like drinking. It's been I think I'm going on like 5 years.
Oh, nice.
I'll have like a sip here and there. I'm not gonna say I'm completely done, but I think it's hard for you guys that are like you said, going to bars, going to places, and everything. But I think there's also a beauty in like, because I know people drink because they're nervous.
Yeah.
But I think also there's something that you need to feel. You need to feel nerves sometimes. You need to feel the emotion. You need to feel what's going on and not necessarily get trashed and then just be like, oh, fuck it. Like, you know, like there, I don't know. I feel like there's something, because that's what I used to do. I used to go out, but I used to have like this like anxiety of being out. So then I used to like get trashed. And then the next thing I knew, I was like, all right, I feel good. But then it wasn't myself. So now I'm experiencing going out, doing things without drinking. And it's like really, I don't want to say difficult, because it's not difficult, but it's different.
Yeah. It's empowering almost to know that you can go into something raw dog life and be like, this is still fun. This is cool. But what you were saying too about like nerves and having to feel it, that I agree too. Like that's kind of how I live my life. I started rock climbing because I am terrified of heights. I've been rock climbing for almost as long as I've been doing comedy, and I'm still scared of heights. But I know that when I become overwhelmed, I can manage that fear and I can still get up the rock. And so it is practice. And if something makes me uncomfortable, I try to lean into it. Like, like living out here by myself for a while, there was a point where I was like, if I die in my bedroom, nobody's going to know until my body starts to stink. Like nobody knows I'm here. Nobody knows what I'm doing. Like my family knew I was out here. I'm not saying like I was disconnected, but they didn't know my day-to-day life. I would text them, once, maybe twice a week. So if I died, they wouldn't know for a week. They wouldn't know until I started smelling bad. And that weird like insecurity of like nobody's here for me, I could die at any point, was kind of why I started doing jujitsu. I was like, I need to be able to take care of myself at the very least with another person, or know that I can be taken out at any point by anyone at any weight class, because I've been ragdolled by some people that I had 40 pounds on, and it is humbling. It's fun though. You're like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that can happen to anybody, right?
Right, but I don't think people realize that.
Yeah.
I don't think people have spent the time to put themselves in that situation where like, oh, I could die here. Yeah, not enough.
Yeah. And yeah, of course, other people will have their family here, but there's a lot of people that don't, like you. There's people that have had their family, like, and don't have their family anymore, and they're all alone. They have to go through this life kind of alone. But I mean, you don't have to. That's always at the back of my mind, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything can happen
at any point on any day.
Any point, any day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think I try not to like. I've never tried to get into the habit of drinking to dull my nerves, because it's kind of the direction. It is my cardinal compass of like, that's how I know which way to go. Like if somebody gives me feedback about my comedy, whether I respect them or not, if it upsets me, then I know part of them is right. Then I know deep down part of me knows that they're right. When somebody comes up and they're like, hey man, you've been doing the same jokes. I'm like, you don't get it, man. It takes a long time to make a joke, but they're right that I have been doing it. Otherwise I wouldn't get offended. Yeah. So like that uncomfort, that discomfort, but then that nerves before you get on stage is important too, because that's how you know you still care. If you're not nervous, you don't care about it. What are you doing it for? Yeah.
I got my first experience of that, of, dude, you're doing the same jokes. I was at the mic, and I know the guy. I kind of know him. Like, we know each other because we do mics. And he walks out, and I'm like, dude, you're they're like half the room. Like, I know how to clear a room. Half the room left, and this guy was one of them. And I was like, dude, you're leaving too? He was like, I already heard this shit already. And then he went outside and he went to go smoke, and then he came back, and I was like, what a fucking asshole.
Came back 4.5 minutes later. Yeah. What a dick, dude. You waited till you saw the light, you asshole.
But I got upset, but he was right. And I was like, fuck, I need to start writing some new stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I spent like the last few days writing stuff and going to mics. Yeah. This past week. Yeah.
It's hard to channel that muse though. It's like where does that? I still over a decade, and I still have yet to know the formula or to conjure the magic. I'm kind of just a receiver And sometimes it comes to me. Sometimes it's something that I said. There's one joke that I do a lot that bangs hard, bangs consistently. I would say it's a 90%er at this point. Like
Nice.
It is a good one. It's tight. It's the word economy is all figured out. But it came to me like that. It's something that happened in the car. The girl I was seeing said something, and I responded immediately, and I was like, "Oh, that was good. That's going to my set. That's I'm using that forever," and I have been. So I think I used it at Strum. But I do kind of just have to. I feel like I'm panning for gold sometimes. We're just like, as long as I show up and I get a little something, maybe eventually I'll build something. But
When you get famous and then you use that one, she's gonna come sue you like Bad Bunny. It's getting sued.
You're right. Don't talk that into existence. Oh man,
Bad Bunny's getting sued.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Or he already
now?
got sued, I think. No, his ex. I guess when he was younger, he recorded his ex-girlfriend because he's been rapping for a lot of years.
Yeah.
But he recorded his ex-girlfriend saying like Bad Bunny baby, which is like I guess like one of the
drops.
Yeah, one of the drops, and he's always kept it. So
Bunny baby.
so he uses it like in his music.
Yeah.
And he never asked her for permission. Now that he's famous, so she went after him and said, "Hey, I never gave you permission to use my voice." And I think she sued him for like $40 million, and she won.
Can I get you more water?
Sure. Yeah.
That is wild. 60 million?
40
million?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But that's what?
That's
nothing, man, dude. He's out making movies. He's on that Bullet Train movie. That was a random. Like I try not to watch anything about movies, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? He's a WWE wrestler now.
But he's in the decline right now, like big time.
He's just okay bunny now
Because people were upset that he dated the Kardashian girl. So they stopped like following him.
Haters gonna
and all
hate.
Yeah.
That's royalty. That's American royalty at that point. It's like dating a Kennedy.
And then they're saying that it's like the Kardashian curse because like his ticket sales are really low. Like there's a lot of plummeting things. So I don't know. Conspiracy.
He's running for president.
Bad Bunny 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild. It's wild out there.
It's crazy, dude, out here, man. What are we going to do? I'm excited that you're able to be here, especially on a Tuesday night when you have stuff
I'm happy to be
going on.
We do have stuff. It's not necessarily me. It's gotten to a point where like we have people that, and like, I guess I'll take this opportunity to say it. Like the buddy system is not like my thing. I understand that, I kind of am in control of it, but it's always been this thing that we were doing. Because when I started comedy, there was nothing to do in the Inland Empire. You could maybe go to Liam's once a month, but if you wanted to tell jokes, you had to drive to Claremont. Claremont was the closest place you could go, and you could tell jokes there at the Flappers in Claremont. But anything past that, you had to go all the way to Burbank. There was nothing out here. So we started doing this thing in the Inland Empire because I can't afford the gas, that's expensive. So it's always been this kind of cycle to bring up comics, to showcase other comics, and I feel like people think that we're pretentious about it, but I'm genuinely just trying to create a space where people can express themselves safely and freely. And I say safely because I don't want. If you're going to say the N-word on stage, that is entirely your consequences to deal with, but I'm never going to ban you for it. Like, that's your freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. You just have to deal with the consequences. That's your problem.
Right.
So, so I don't have anything going on. The buddy system has the riff going on, which to this point, as far as I know, is the longest running riff show in Southern California. I can't find one that's been out longer, and that's going on now. But there's like Carlos Patino and Will Henderson, like they're also there showing up every day. Hector Lara, like that, somebody can step in and allow me to be places like this and talk to cool people like yourself. So it's easy. It's an easy pivot. It wasn't always, but I'm more than happy to do it. I was like, hey, y'all do that. I'm going to do something cooler. I'm going to go do something more fun than just listen to comics bomb for 7 minutes at a time. That's important, though.
Yeah. Watching people bomb?
Watching people, if you can extrapolate the right information, that's important. But bombing in general is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You have to know what the existential crisis you go through on stage when your banger doesn't bang, and you have to know how to pivot. But you have to be familiar with that, where it doesn't show on your face that you are like panicking inside. Because once you can rely on yourself as opposed to your jokes, once you can relax on stage, I think you can really be yourself, and that's the important thing. That's what self-expression is.
Exactly. Just going up there and doesn't matter whoever's in the room, just being yourself on stage in front of people.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Bill Burr said, pick a spot in the wall and tell your jokes to that, like this room is full, and that's what I do.
Oh, yeah.
Just send it out. It should go out the same way. That's why it doesn't matter if there's 2 people or 150. Like, you should do it the same way because you're doing you. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the important thing.
I don't get you guys. You guys are sadists.
I know, it does suck. No, you're right.
I feel like comics, you guys are just a whole other breed of person.
I agree. I
think so.
It is a weird narcissistic, but also like self-loathing pursuit.
Yeah.
You can't love yourself too much, because if you do, it shows, and a lot of people hate you for that shit. And they're like, ew, dude, you're just telling jokes. Shut up.
But I think
I'm a little bit of both.
You have to be. You have to be.
I'm a little bit of both. I think I'm pretty cool, but at the same time, it's like, I'm a piece of shit sometimes.
I'm a piece of shit always. This is all that's left. I've tried everything else, and this is the only thing I'm even kind of good at.
I think I just don't care anymore. I said this on another. Oh, by the way, check out Silo Talk podcast. That is out right now, but finish this first. I was telling him, I was like, dude, I think I just reached the point where I just don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care anymore what people think. I don't. Like, I started wearing sandals again. Like, I started wearing chanclas. I never wore chanclas ever in my life because it was just my toes are bad. But now I don't give a fuck, dude. And it's so freeing.
Yeah.
It's so freeing. And the mohawk is the universal sign for I don't give a fuck. Like,
It really is.
It really is, dude. I love it. But what were you going to say, Amber? We're crazy? What's up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys are crazy. No, I don't know. I think it just takes like a certain person. Like I'm a confident person and I can speak to people and I know that I can. But I could never in my life get up there and say jokes. And yeah, there's times that people laugh and that's great, and I'm sure that feels good, but then I'd probably run off the stage crying if nobody laughed at my jokes and it was like freaking crickets. And I don't know how you guys do that. Like, it's mind-boggling to me, honestly.
I mean, like you said, George, it's part of the process, right?
Yeah.
And just figuring out, navigating through that process. And how to use that.
For me, is chasing the dragon. Because on one hand, there is that side of like, I could never, ever do what you guys do. And that might be true. I mean, public speaking is the number one fear. And if that being the case, that also means you're going to never, ever experience the best drug on the planet. To have this little nugget of an idea exist in your brain, for you to throw it out there, and for a room full of strangers to agree with you in uproarious laughter, there's no other endorphin hit. There's no way even heroin's that good, and that's what I'm doing it for. It's the drug chase of okay, I just need to make this smack, and also the competitive side of like, I want to be the one that smacks the hardest out of this whole lineup.
Oh yeah.
That's that too, of like, and then when you realize you can't be that person, then you settle for, I just don't want to suck. Yeah. It's the drug. That's what it is for me.
Yeah. It's a lot of like balancing and like, oh, you can't do this too much because it might be like this, or I don't know. It's just it's a wild thing. I'm still fairly new, but I love it, dude. It's I think I found my people. Before the podcast, I knew that I wanted to do something. I just didn't know what, and then I came across people doing podcasts. Oh, I'll try this, and then through that, dude, it was just like I said. There's stand-up has always been there. Comedians have always been there. Comedic films has always been there, and I've always been drawn to them. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna try it. See how it goes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's for me, I'm just trying to deliver some escapism.
Yeah.
I think we talked earlier, like I'm very aware how much this world kind of sucks.
Right.
And if I can, in my power, remove that thought and take you away from that world for 5 to 30 minutes, that feels good too.
Yeah.
That's also part of the drug of that self-fulfilling. Like, no, I did something important right now because nobody else could do literally no one else could do what I do. You can't tell my jokes. My jokes suck. You shouldn't tell my jokes. But it found me. Like I said, I tried everything else and this is all that's left. So I can't quit now. If I quit, I have to kill myself.
I tried to be a backyard wrestler. That didn't work out.
Oh, it's dope. For real?
I hurt my shoulder.
Damn.
And then, what else? I tried to be a musician. That didn't work out. For years, dude. You had no idea. For years, I tried to get a band together.
Yeah. Music is hard. And then
nobody wanted to play with me.
Yeah. Once you find, though, even people to play with you, now you have to manage egos. Now you have to...
Right.
It's so much work. It's so much easier to just be like, I'm going to go tell my 10 minutes real quick. I'll be back.
Exactly. There's no relying on anybody else except for yourself. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like the Mandalorian, that first episode where he's like, it's just me, my tools, and we'll see if we can get the job done.
That sounds...
Feels great.
Correct.
Feels amazing.
Yeah.
Usually, and then sometimes I can't tell you. I bombed at Lions Lair hardest, and also at the Ice House. I bombed so hard back in the day, but easily just silence, just nothing, just no feedback, nothing. I was just trucking through,
cold-hearted silence.
Yeah, it was late. I was the second to last to go up, and they had extended the open mic time like 45 minutes, but to still just do it to a dead room, I was like, oh. Well, good. I got that out of the way. Had my hardest bomb ever, so can't go anywhere up.
I'm glad that they're bringing it back now.
Yeah.
After cool. how many years that I've heard?
COVID shut them down, and then so this just started maybe a month ago. So 4 years.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, it was fun. I like the Ice House. I think, I like the remodel. The main room is dope. I think that room is perfect. It is. When you hit it right, it is loud.
Yeah.
Like the feedback you get is jarring. Like I was on a show with Mike James, and he was like, any tips? I was like, yeah, you're gonna get hit by this wave of laughter. It's gonna take a second. You're gonna have to reset. Like it's a lot. And when he got off, he was like, you were right. You were so right. Because then you have to pause for longer. And now you're pausing for a little bit longer than you normally do because you're like, oh, I've never had that joke hit like that before. And now it's so much harder to fit your 10-minute set into 10 minutes because now you're 20 seconds extra of just waiting between jokes.
Isn't that the best feeling, though?
Yeah, you get to relax.
The best feeling is hitting your last punchline, and it's just it's this roar that you normally don't get, and there's a applause break for it, and it's just like, oh man, this is wonderful. This is wonderful.
That's the drug. That's the drug that people who can't do it will never experience, and that's fine. Maybe the drug's not that good, but to me, it's the shit.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good, Amber.
Hits.
I do it for the drugs. Mm-hmm. So if you ask your parents why Gil's doing stand-up, you tell them because I'm chasing all the drugs that I can.
I think recently I've felt... okay, I'm not going to compare it because I don't know. But recently I felt this like boost of like, I want to do it again. I've never like, I don't do drugs. I don't drink any of that. But I've always... loved like vintage things, right? And my mom would only let me bring in like certain items to the house because obviously it was just my room. And then so recently, now that I live on my own and that I have everything, I've been thrifting
nice
things that I want and that I like, specifically like glassware and things for kitchen because I like to cook.
Ooh, okay.
And the first time I bought something that I was like, oh my God. And then I checked like on Google and it was like going for like $200, and
What
I bought
did you
it for
buy?
like I bought it for like 79 cents. It was these cups. Yeah, there were these cups, like these glasses.
Uh-huh. Are those the
And-
ones that like shine under the black light or something? Or I don't know.
Yeah,
I watch
I
on
know what you're
TikTok.
talking about. You're talking about it's called depression glass.
Yeah,
one.
yeah, and there's like it's got different
and
stuff in it.
It's made with geez, I'm drawing a blank. What is it made with? The uranium.
Love and happiness.
So they're made with uranium. Same thing that they made the atomic bomb with.
Right.
But that was like the biggest fucking rush for me. And then I went back and they had more stuff. And it was like I need it all. Like I couldn't like it almost felt like I had like a giant cup of coffee.
Oh, for sure. That's why people open Pokemon cards on videos and stuff.
And I couldn't stop like talking and I couldn't stop doing things. And then I was like, I think that's why I was really productive today because I went and I got some stuff. But I'm going to say that it's almost what you guys feel, but maybe not.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
But
Big cup of coffee?
Yeah, like a big cup of coffee. And you're just like super energized and just excited.
Yeah, and you go back to that same coffee shop and you're like, give me the coffee. And they give you coffee, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah.
What were you guys making on Monday? I want more of that. I want the Monday coffee. This is not this Thursday crap that you're giving me.
I agree.
George, you are going to be headlining
I am.
tomorrow.
Does
dude.
it count if it's my own show? I guess. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
How do you
June 12th.
feel, man? You're here.
I'm fine with
That's what
it.
blew my mind, dude. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. If it was me and I had a big show like that, I'd probably tell me no.
Nah.
But I'm super glad you're here.
I'm happy
dude.
to be here. I'm happy to. I did it by choice. I don't know if you feel like I'm forced to be here. I'm happy to do this. I think.
I paid him.
Yeah, I thought we weren't telling anyone. Hang on. That was between us. At this point, I treat it like SATs, where I think if you're ready, you're ready. You know, I have the material. It's not the first time I'm doing 30. It's not the longest set I've done. It's more about like I have a bunch of jokes that I'm kind of just over in general. I would like to get it down so I don't feel obligated to keep them sharp. You know, I do have a 15 that have some of those jokes in it as well that I know I can show up on any day and do. But the work is done.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to stress too much about it.
Okay.
You know, everyone's been asking me like, how do you feel? And I'm fine with it. I found that
Stop asking me.
No.
I'm okay.
I fixate. I tend to fixate, and I tend to blow things up, and especially like at the Improv when it's my show, I do come into those shows a little hot, a little too hot. It's not my vibe, and it does take me an extra minute or two to kind of settle into my set. So I am trying to just treat it like another set. It is just another day. I've been at the Improv. It's not the last time I'm going to be there. It's not the last time I'm going to be headlining. So, you know, this is more about of a litmus test of kind of like where I'm at. I want to see where I'm at and what this 30 feels like.
What's a limit test?
Just a standard. Like, let's see where I'm at. Let's. I know these jokes. I have a couple of new ones in there. I'm okay. It's 30 minutes, so I don't feel kind of beholden to this 10-minute set that is. Oh, I need to do 10 minutes of fire.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna see what this room gives me for 30 minutes, and I want to make sure that I can. I hate that I do these stupid metaphors, but it's like surfing for me. It's like I want to see what this beach is gonna give me for 30 minutes and see if I can surf all those waves. If I can do that, everybody has a good time, great. In case I don't, I book some people that I know are funny that aren't going to ruin your night. So it'll be fun regardless.
Who's on the lineup too?
Hector Lar is going to be our host.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah, Hector Lar is our host.
He's great. He's a great guy.
Nikki P.
Nikki's a great guy.
Sandy, C's Reynoso, Carlos Patino, William Henderson, and me.
All great guys,
yours
too.
truly. Yeah, so we've tried to make the Improv a space, at least those, because we're only there 2 or 3 times a year, and we try to use it as a space to kind of highlight and showcase the people that have been working.
That's what I love about what you guys are doing. It's because it's not just working on your own careers, like you're helping out. Like, the community. You're helping out.
The way I see it, all ships rise with the tide. Imagine you go to a mic that has 25 comics, and all of those comics are good. What a fun night!
Yeah,
that would be. And if I can help make that happen in any little way possible, I'm more than happy to. because it allows everybody else to pursue their dream. It gives them a space to create, and it gives me a space to learn from what not to do. I watch everybody's set. I watch it, and I do quickly be like, oh, everyone kind of makes the same mistakes. So it's easy to, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't say the N-word in front of those people.
No.
Yeah. So no, I appreciate that you like what we're doing, but I think a lot of people don't understand that's what we're doing. So it's fine. I'm busy doing the damn thing.
Yeah. Well, I can see it. I mean, I necessarily haven't produced a lot of comedy shows, but I've produced enough events to see what you guys are doing, and then plus, like I said, the comedy thing is all fairly new to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the first times that I've had Johnny Gold on the show, and
Nice.
He's, from the very moment that I met that guy, he's just been, dude, like, what you're doing with the podcast is great. You should get more comedians on there. And from then on, dude, I've had you, Eric, all these other great guys, C, Sandy, hopefully Nikki P in the near future, Art Marquez.
Who?
Wait, he's actually scheduled for the next couple of weeks. But,
Nice.
nice.
Art's nice. He just, he knows it. I just bully him. It's fine.
But yeah, dude, it shows. It shows how much the work you put in and creating something great that people can see and can grow. Like, that's hard. That's hard to do. To build a space or a community where people are growing. Because you can beat a dead horse all day and have events and have shows and stuff, but when nobody's growing, like,
you need to cultivate, and I use that word
Cultivate.
specifically. You do have to cultivate. Yeah, you have to let the weeds kill themselves and fade out, and really put sun on the flowers that deserve it and want it.
Yeah,
I think that's
the most important thing right there. The difference is them wanting it and you noticing that. And noticing all the hard work.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, I see these cats every week.
Yeah,
like 52 weeks a year at least. Sure, we miss a day or so, but it doesn't mean I didn't see them that week. Doesn't mean like I haven't given them notes or have noticed little things about them. But you can tell when people are hungry, and I'm here to feed hungry people.
Yeah,
that's it. So. They're like, why don't you book me? Because you never asked. Like, let's be honest. I don't know. What do you need? I just need to see that you're working. I don't want to book someone that's not working. Like,
what is it, dude? What is it with people not asking? Because I hear that all the time. Now that I'm getting in there and meeting people, I feel that that's a common thing. Like, I'm not getting booked. Like, it's another week I'm not getting booked. Well, are you asking? Like, no one's cool enough to ask. People ask all the time.
Yeah. I think you'll realize the longer you do it, there's a certain duration. It's like the longer the comic has been doing it, the more willing they are to just ask.
Yeah.
But I think, to answer your question, what is it? I think it's early on comics who, like, comedy is such a mistress that it's such a fickle thing that it's hard to get any real hand on what to do right. It's hard to really grab it and hold it for a long period of time. It's like trying to remember a dream. It's there, you can do it, but how? How do I do it? And when somebody asks a new comic, hey, do you want to do my show? It's verification that, like, what I'm doing is correct. And I think subconsciously that's kind of what we all desire is that reaffirmation of someone going, you're doing it right. Why don't you do that thing with my show? And then it kind of feeds the ego. But then when you do it long enough, you realize if you don't ask, you don't get fed, and you just stay stagnant. So you have to ask to kind of feed yourself.
Yeah.
But by the time you're comfortable asking, you already know you're funny. You already figured it out. You kind of know your voice. You know how to work out. So there's no shame in asking. You're like, hey, I bang. I can do anywhere from 5 to 45 minutes. What do you want from me? I'm just trying to get my drug.
Yeah.
Like, let me get the fix.
Yeah.
So it's an ego thing. But
yeah,
if you're in this and your ego is you don't check. I don't think it's bad to have an ego.
You got to check it.
You need to check it for sure. You have to know when you are being out of line or being unreasonable. And until you figure that out, if you don't ever figure that out, like it's going to be hard to move forward.
Do you ever run into situations where you're just like, I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't want to.
Let's name names. It's fine.
I'm not naming names. I think maybe just like there's one thing I'll say this, and wherever that goes, we'll take it there. But doing comedy is one thing, but producing and doing showcases totally freaking different.
Yes,
because it's not just your ego that you're working with. You're working with 6, 7, 8 other egos that you have to work with, and. Who did I try to? I think I was trying to seize about this, but it was after. It's hard, dude. It's really weird, and I always bring this up because I'm new. I'm new to entertainment, but I've been doing business for a long time. Like events that's my wheelhouse. But this thing is completely different. Like I had doing this now and now going into the production of stuff, it's trying to take the temperature of who's doing what and who goes where. I think that's the thing that I'm getting into right now.
The benefit of doing this, the buddy system's been running since like 2017.
Right.
So the benefit of my eye being so close to it is that I do have all the information that I need kind of at my fingertips of like, I know who's been doing it. I know where you're at. I know what your jokes are. I know how much time you think you can do. I know how much time you can do. And I can fit people in. But it is a different skill set. It is people managing. And I think it's like pickup basketball where the audience and the venue is one team and me and the comics are another team.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put together a shitty team.
No, of course not.
Let's at the very least put some points on the board and leave an impression. So it is people managing. It is the problem when you run into like bands and stuff. It's like you have these great musicians they're great.
Yeah, I've worked with bands. I've worked with artists. I've worked with 200 employees. At one point for years I managed like 200-300 people, dude, with like 12 supervisors like under me. That's what I did.
Yeah. And I'm sure that helped you realize good help is hard to find.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like to know, like when you have an employee and you can tell, okay, this is the guy. With a lot more training, he can be something if he keeps working. I think I'm doing that lens, but kind of like with comedy, but still, I'm still fairly new. So and then plus too, I'm running into like my ego too. It's like, am I even good enough to be, doing showcases or producing showcases? Like it's a weird dynamic.
Yeah. It's hard to find someone who wants to though. That's the other thing about that is like I said, there is a kind of a foundation that we've built with the buddy system where I can kind of just dip out on a Tuesday and rely on those other people to kind of run that show the way that I expect them to. And there is a benefit to doing that, but finding those people is hard. It's hard to find someone that wants to run a show. It's hard to find someone that enjoys comedy so much that they're willing to sit behind the board for 2.5 hours just playing music and waiting for their turn to go. It's difficult. So just wanting to produce, I think, is if it was me, it was something, and you were kind of in and out of my scene, it's something that I would notice. I'm like, this person wants this. Let's help them do the thing that they want to do.
It's cool. I think producing is... I produce a podcast. Me and Amber do events all the time, like self-produce, or we manage somebody else's stuff. But it's cool when you can deliver a good product to an audience and having them or even having a comic say, dude, I understand it's just an open mic, but goddamn, like the sound's good. The lighting's awesome. the room is great. Like you're delivering something really good, and I think that's something that I heard when you were talking to Rick Bravo about I think the Back to the Grind.
Yeah,
I mean, in that room.
Yeah, that's that. I think if there's a style or anything, that's kind of how I produce. Is like I want to put on a good show.
Yeah.
I want everyone to be able to showcase their talent as best as they can, but also on the other side of that, like if you bomb, it's your fault. I don't want them to know it. It's not because there wasn't music transitions.
Right.
It's not because there wasn't any lights. Like we're gonna stack the deck in your favor.
Yes.
If you fail, that's your problem. And I think that's important because there's a lot of, especially now, there's a lot of slotted mics that is just comics. People aren't going to that show and comics laugh. It's different stuff. I'm not saying it's any different of a show, but if what you want to do is go into a room and make a room full of regular people laugh, it's difficult to get that kind of practice at a slotted mic. You can work on your jokes, where they're going to hit, and hopefully you figured out how to work out and how to edge that into something a little more palatable for the general public, but you need people, and you're not going to have people if the show looks like shit. And I've had we've spent a lot of time in the last 7 years kind of doing it outside, doing it in breweries, without lights, with no mixer, with one speaker. Like we've kind of found this spot on Thursdays at Back to the Grind where it's inside. We have climate control. There's a fan. There's 2 speakers. Its lighting is great. Everyone facing the same direction. There's no more perfect space outside of the ice house. Kind of really do comedy. There's not a lot of that. And so you're right. I am proud of that room that we've built, but it's also my Back to the Grind is my dream room. That was when I moved to the IE, when I got to Moval and I did comedy out there. Back to the Grind was the first place I did comedy. And it was at somebody else's poetry open mic. And I was like, this would be a great place to just do comedy. And it took me fucking 12 years to get there.
Whoa.
So, but I love it. That room is great. It's so fun. When it smacks, and it's real legit feedback that you get at a mic that you can't really get anywhere else. It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah, I gotta go, dude. I gotta check it out. I haven't been. People always talk about it all the time.
That's what I hear. People are telling people, and I've never really said it out loud, so I'll say it to you in case you come out. Everybody that gets there before 7, before the show starts, I will do my best to go up. So far, everybody that gets there before showtime has gotten up. I don't want to say into the future because, last week we had 38 comics.
That is what?
We had something crazy. But I got up.
Whoa.
I think I got all of them up. I cut the end.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think I did.
Oh, my God.
Because this, for everyone's benefit, I want everyone to go up. So I would light people, 10 seconds early. And over the course of 20 some odd comics and plus people getting off early on their own, it does kind of add time at the end so I can give everyone 3 minutes at the
38
end. Something crazy like that. I don't really remember. It was over 30 though, because I was like, damn, dude, I don't know if I could do it, but I was hosting, so I gave it a shot because I'm trying to make a space for people to work. I show up at 5 o'clock to set it up. Show starts at 7. We're there till 9. I'm there for 4 hours. Like I want you, if you're gonna come, I want to do my best to get you work. So if you get there before 7, I'll do my best to get you up. So far, I've been able to do it.
It's hard for me to say no, dude. It's not just me being trying to not say no to somebody, but it's like I know how it feels to get somewhere. You're like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go up tonight, and them telling like, sorry, dude. Like when you're there, sorry, you can't go up tonight. Like, that's messed up.
Yeah, I felt that early on, but now I try to be reasonable about it. Like I tell everyone that shows up after 7, like, look, you can sign up, and I will try my best to get you on. But there's no guarantee. I've told plenty of people no too. I think, this is me personally, I think if you show up to a show or a mic an hour after it starts, doesn't matter, signups are closed. Like there's so many people that have been there an hour before the show even started, and you want to come in an hour later and be like, can I go up? And then no, like there are people here that want it, that are hungry, and I'm going to prioritize them before anybody else.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But if you show up an hour after, and you know, there are caveats if you message me or you talk to me or we're friends or whatnot. But I mean, I've told friends like, hey, don't even bother. Like this list is full. Like go somewhere else. For sure. For sure.
somewhere else.
Yeah. There's plenty of other places. That's why I don't feel bad saying no either now, because there are plenty of other places to go. If I tell you no, good, take that time and go to another spot, because there is another spot.
Right.
If you value this spot and this time so much, come earlier.
Get there early.
Yeah. An hour after the show starts? Would you show up to a movie an hour after the show starts? That's ridiculous. Where can you go where you can show up? You can't even show up to work an hour late. That's ridiculous. Go home. Get out of here. Tells me you don't want it.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think I don't know enough, but from what I see, like, I feel like, because I see how much effort he puts into even just doing the open mic or doing
It's just
his
an
lives.
open mic, and I'm there for 5-6 hours, and I don't think people understand that.
Yeah, so it's effort. It doesn't matter what it looks like, what it is.
The
It's
flyer.
effort,
I make
thought.
a custom flyer every week.
Nice.
And I make a custom video every week.
That's effort. I'm sure you've seen. Like, I used to do that, but now they're all templates. They're all things that I've made that I'm just gonna swap people out because I don't have that kind of energy or time.
I gotta get my. I feel that I'm like an artist at heart. Maybe not. Maybe it's just all bullshit. But I love tinkering with stuff and videos.
Same. Like, yes, I reuse all of the graphics for but it's not forever.
But you're still doing it.
It's not forever, and I do refresh the graphics.
It's gonna change.
Yeah. And if you go through the feed, like, a lot of that shit looks pretty clean. You know, like
you do all these.
Yeah. It's like it's easy to read.
They're nice. I like them.
The dates are there. All the relevant. There's so many flyers that go out that I'm like, what day is this? You know, what time does your show start? Like,
there's some flyers that I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah. Can I set you hip on something on Facebook? Go to the bad comedy flyers.
Whoa! Are you serious? There's something like that?
Yes, I've seen.
Imagine seeing your flyer on there.
That's my goal. I just never wanted to be on that. No. But I've seen so many like producers that I know that their flyers are there. I'm like, damn, dude, that's crazy.
But you know what? But I think I'm gonna say we, because I make some stuff too. There's something that us three understand, and it's not. I'm not like generalizing or saying, "Oh, we're the best," because
I'm an artist.
we're not. No. But I think there's something that we understand, and I know that there's a lot of people that understand. But there's something that we understand in, like you said, putting on the information, making it clear, making it not look like you threw up on a page, like overwhelming. You can't overwhelm people, and yeah, it's not something that you can learn. There's a lot of people that think they could just put a flyer, pictures, and put a bunch of fucking wording.
There's a lot of people that do,
and that's that. But there's not. There's more to it. I mean, especially now, and that's what sometimes we have to take the time to step back and learn. Like you were saying, you like to learn things, and I think that in any business that you are, like, you have to learn, even down to something small as a flyer. Like, you have to learn and educate yourself on what are they looking at. I mean, and there's so many outlets now for us to do that. But I agree.
Free too. You don't have to buy Adobe Suite to make a flyer anymore. You can just go and Google like a free, like Canva, right? Canva is a free
Canva
thing.
Pro. You can. It's a powerful program. You can do Canva free and make some legit stuff on it. Yeah. Absolutely. It's higher design. I think it's an eye for detail, but it's doing everything with intention.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's important about comedy too. It's like you have to make sure you do it. Like, when you're up there, if somebody's up there and the mic stand is in front of them, I leave. Like, I'm not gonna watch that. I can't see you because why is that mic stand there? I can't see you behind the mic stand. That tells me that you don't take this serious enough to own your space psychologically, but also tells me you haven't been doing it long enough to know that you should be doing this. And if the mic's up there, the mic stand's up there, it's there for a reason. If it's not being used, move it.
Yeah.
You don't move it, I don't waste my time watching you. I'm busy. I'm gonna go pee or something. But no. Basic. Move the mic stand and pretend you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's an eye for detail. You guys got it. I mean, you guys are running. I do have a speed dating question though.
Yeah.
That I was wondering about when I heard speed dating. Oh, dude.
Sure.
So
are you single?
I am not. I am not. But do ugly people like go speed dating? Like, because I feel like
we're about to find out.
I feel like I would not. I'd be afraid of the rejection of just like, damn, 12 people, no callback. Sure, right? I don't know.
I mean, I think I think looks are subjective, right?
Okay. That's fair.
So to me, someone may be good looking, and to you they might be ugly.
Right.
So I can't I
guess
can't answer you there.
My real question is there ever one person where you're like, oh, everybody's gonna call this person? This person's just fun.
This is our first time doing
It's our
it.
first time.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we'll let you know
Okay.
after June 22nd. But I mean, I'm pretty sure. I think it's like anything. Like it's like you gravitate or people gravitate towards someone that they think is handsome and things like that. I don't know. But we're doing an age group of 30 to 45. So I'm hoping that this is like people are a little more like I'm serious about it.
For sure. Like with
I think
dating
so.
with intention, right?
Yeah, dating with
absolutely.
intention.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And then, you know, I've done my research. I read what I've had to read and everything. And, you know, they say that sometimes you don't get any matches. Sometimes you can throw an event and there could be no matches.
Yeah, I guess that's just a
whatsoever.
numbers thing, huh?
Yeah, it's just depending on there. And then I feel bad, like what you were saying, like I feel bad, like because I'm gonna be the ones to receive. I'm gonna be the one to receive the sheet that we're giving them to fill out. So then I'm gonna be the one that's doing the matches the next day and then contacting each person. So I contact you if you have a match. If you don't hear from me, then you didn't have a match.
Yeah. Then you suck.
Don't call me, I'll call you.
Yeah.
Basically.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll let you know how it goes. But I hope not. I hope people, like you said, are going there with intention and they're taking it serious. And if they're not, I mean, that's okay too.
This
if you
is
want a booty call, then that's cool too.
And maybe you meet another one of them. There's like, I'm looking for that too. That's what I'm here for. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's what I'm
I'll be selling parking stalls
private. It's like in a tent. You put
in the parking lot. So
what is it called?
Hit up Gil if you.
What is it called? Like a tent, right? Like when you have a party, like a
like a little easy up.
Yeah,
just with sidewalls on it.
With these soundproofing things on the side.
Back it in. I have the things. I don't know what they're called.
There's also an open mic after this, so stick around. We're going to hang out, have a good time.
Gil did say, he's like, what if we do like a comedy show for them? I'm like, no.
No.
Not.
Just let it happen.
Or a comedian one. You know how fun that would be? Like just all single comedians doing like
all
speed
comedians?
dating. Yeah, all comedians. All women, all men.
Speed dating seemed fun. Caught me when I was single, I would definitely participate. I think that's I just like connecting with people. I think people are interesting. And
Can you connect with somebody in 5 minutes though?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Really? 5 minutes?
It's not you're not connecting them to be your soulmate, but you're connecting with them to go on a date.
Yeah, I don't have a problem like being vulnerable and open. I think it's the other side of like, are you willing to connect with me? Like, do you want to talk?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I would go into it pretty open.
So I'm gonna be pretty candid about it. I've been having a hard time getting guys to participate.
Dumb.
Like,
Guys are scared.
like
They're scared of the
hard.
same thing I am. They're just rejection.
What if I'm too ugly to do that?
Yeah. What if my fat sticks over my jeans?
So do you know
and they
any
notice?
single men?
I'll push it out. Send me the flyer. Like I'll
Push
be
it
like,
out.
yo, I just did this podcast. Check these people out. It was fun. I skipped the mic for it. Had a great time. So.
I literally need just 6 men.
Men. That's the problem. See, men.
I'm like,
Did you write men? Or did you write man on
What do you want
the
me to write, boys?
boys?
6 non-fuck boys, please.
No, I don't care. Some girls like fuck boys.
That's true. You're right. You're right. It is also.
It's a type, right? It's a type.
Mm-hmm.
It's Amber's type.
No, it's not.
No? You wouldn't consider me one? Wait, what is that
No,
anyways?
what the heck?
What is it?
What's
the definition of?
I think you would call them a bro back in the day. You know, they're just dudes, just flex fit hat backward, just like, hey man, hey bro, what's up? Just like disrespectful, not really seeing women as an equal.
Bravo Comedy said, if George is there, who's running the riff at Brooks Bar in Riverside? And then he also said, get Sandy on speed dating.
Oh God,
He's single AF.
Wow, Sandy.
Sandy B speed dating. Okay, so you don't need to get him anywhere.
If Sandy,
He does speed and dates.
Yeah.
And he goes
If
dating.
Sandy comes out to speed dating, we'll give him a free ticket.
Ooh, you heard it live
There we
here.
go.
You get a free ticket, Sandy. I'll let him know. Hey, go watch the podcast. They said you can go for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else is single? Do we know?
A lot, I
Yeah.
guess.
Is Hec-
none,
is
none
Hec-
of my friends are single.
Is Hector married?
He's in a relationship.
He's-
He's got some kind of domestic partnership going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think.
We can get Ricky, Amber. We can try to get Ricky.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to get Ricky Novea on the scene.
I'm capping it at 2 comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Art can go.
Too.
It'll be fun.
It'll be great. It'll be great. George, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for
and
having me. This was fun.
doing the podcast, man. I appreciate it. Go ahead and tell us where we can find you and what you got coming up.
June 12th, if you're watching this right now, June 12th, go to ontario.improv.com. I'm headlining Hector Lara, Nikki P, Sandy, Cesar Reynoso, William Henderson, Carlos Patino, and me. Go to ontario.improv.com for your tickets. The next day, I'll be at the Laugh Factory in Covino doing the Shindig show, so come check that out. We got Daryl Hammond, courtesy of SNL, Daryl Hammond headlining that show. And then Monday on the 17th, I'll be in Laguna Hills at Gamecraft Brewery with RJ Signs and who's Saul Trujillo, I think is headlining. So it should be a good time. For all my dates, you can follow me at the George F. That's where I post everything, at the George F on Instagram, on X. Come find me, come talk to me, and everything that I'm doing is also at the Buddy System Co. So come hang out with me, come say hi.
Yeah.
Awesome, George.
You want to
Thanks.
shout out this one?
Yeah, at the Buddy Systems Go. Yeah, every Tuesdays at Brooks. Right now, I think Carlos is running that show, like Rick was asking. Every Thursday at Back to the Grind. Show starts at 7, Hard Out at 9. We got some things in the works. We're at Strum Brewery once a month. We got a podcast called The Buddy Cast. Follow it anywhere you get podcasts. It's on YouTube with video as well. So come check us out there. Check out all the things I'm doing. I'm having a good time. I'm loving it. I'm loving my 30s.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. George, thanks for coming out and doing the podcast. Follow the Buddy System, guys. Go down to the show description if you're watching this on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and tell us how you feel. Let's see, what else do we got? Follow the Mind Buzz at the Mind Buzz on Instagram. What else do we got? We got
Need
speed
men.
dating. We need men. Amber needs men.
Sandy,
Guys,
get on it.
you have no idea how it's scary. It's kind of scary because she's walking around the studio all day saying, "I need men, I need men." You know, come on, guys. We'll even give you a promo code. Okay, all right. See you guys next week. Appreciate it.
The Mind Buzz Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Mind Buzz podcast. Subscribe to the Mind Buzz YouTube channel and watch full podcast episodes. Keep up with the hosts, guests, and upcoming events by following the Mind Buzz on Instagram at the Mind Buzz. See you on the next one.